The cost of living in Australia versus the UK can vary depending on factors such as location, lifestyle, and individual circumstances. Here's a general comparison. Housing. Both Australia and the UK have major cities with high housing costs, such as Sydney and London. However, overall, Australia's housing tends to be more expensive, especially in cities like Sydney and Melbourne. Rental prices in Australia can also be high compared to many areas in the UK. Transportation. Transportation costs can vary widely depending on where you live and how you choose to travel. Generally, public transportation costs may be higher in the UK, especially in London, but fuel and car ownership costs may be higher in Australia due to greater distances and less dense public transportation networks in many areas. Food and groceries. Food prices can be comparable in both countries, with certain items being cheaper in one or the other. Australia may have higher prices for fresh produce due to its geographical location and transportation costs. Healthcare. Both Australia and the UK have public healthcare systems, Medicare in Australia and the NHS in the UK, which provide basic medical services free or at a low cost. However, private healthcare costs can be significant in both countries. Education. Both countries have reputable education systems, but the cost of education can vary depending on whether you attend public or private institutions. In Australia, international students may face higher tuition fees compared to domestic students, while in the UK, tuition fees for international students are generally higher as well. Taxes. Tax rates and systems differ between Australia and the UK. Australia has a progressive income tax system with rates ranging from 0% to 45%, while the UK's income tax rates range from 20% to 45%. Both countries also have other taxes such as Goods and Services Tax, GST, in Australia and Value Added Tax, VAT, in the UK. Utilities and other expenses. Costs for utilities like electricity, water, and internet can vary depending on location and usage habits. Generally, these costs may be comparable between the two countries. Overall, while Australia tends to have higher housing and transportation costs, the cost of living can vary significantly depending on individual circumstances and lifestyle choices. It's essential to research specific locations and consider factors like employment opportunities, lifestyle preferences, and personal finances when comparing living costs between Australia and the UK.